That's loud.
What does that mean?
Condition, family, father, and good luck.
Sure didn't say tofu, soy sauce.
I would have thought that, but I went to the library and researched for about a year before.
Okay. Is that worked at a tattoo shop? I go in there and switch words. And people like there's probably
I got that when I was 21 years old. So the thing is 30 or 18 years, 17 years old. Still a pretty good fellow. She had touched that 5 times though. When I was in woodworking, I would always cut my arm, scratch it, and peel a scab or whatever, and I'd go back over and she'd Charlotte and Tattoo Charlie.
Yeah.
Bigger man back there about there.
It's so bad. Are you comfortable?
All right, here's our fixing the plate.
That's how you do it, baby.
It's bigger.
Well, you got set it up and everything.
Hey, Scotty,
So payday.
do you have your outfit ready?
Dude, it's gonna be like,
Please tell me you got like assless chaps and stuff too.
dude, I got it going on. You gonna like it.
I did not need to hear that.
It's for a video later.
I did not need to hear that.
Assless chaps just means you can put them over jeans.
It's just too early for some things there.
Things you never thought you'd hear this early in the morning.
Yeah.
Cut your assless chaps, bro.
We'll rock it.
You close that elbows up there, Bob, if you want to.
Brother, huh?
Walk on your shadows, man.
I don't know if I like how dressed up right now.
Dude, I'll be on payday, man.
Okay.
Every day.
Well, that's not worth $1,300.
I think that.
Or $900.
And
Hey, no, good.
I have no idea.
No, don't throw
On your
that
little
out
phone?
there. Let me see, let's wait and see what Andy's reaction is.
Can bring pictures.
I guess a bad thing.
He's a magnet. He's a magnet. Yeah, he's a magnet.
You would have to track that
Okay,
Scott, I think we should get on the horse dress.
I'll see you shortly. Okay.
No,
That may actually be funnier than.
I gotta would be. I gotta fit the bill.
Okay,
Oh, boy. You wanna sit in my place?
I gotta go, I'm off. So I can't say, but, I've got a new douche truck.
Yeah. You drive stick? Yeah, Tony. I don't have a trailer, but it's a long bed.
So it's just a bed that I'm moving.
No, it's fine. It's my truck bed. Hey, Tony.
I just gotta take it out of her house at closing.
Let me know. I'll put the keys in.
Just do extra videos, that's it.
Yeah.
Keys off.
Well, I got a third property, like
The white flag.
Thank you.
Is one of these buildings an old school? You know what I'm talking about right now?
You gonna do all the talking?
Big brick.
But it looks like a last minute fill. I'm a last minute fill.
It wasn't on school, the one I'm thinking of was the school. Past the bridge, the road that turns onto the bridge, your next right there, that's school. Downtown Maysville.
What do you think?
And then after Stewart.
Oh, no. It's on the same road.
Okay,
That's the old Mason Towards High School.
yes,
It's a building too, right?
yeah, I've shot in there before,
Oh, okay.
but that place, yeah, you don't need to advertise that place.
One of mine is
Bad.
3 or 4 blocks down on the same street. And it looks a lot like that.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, okay.
I'll get some awesome shots of downtown on the bridge too.
On your videos, can you put some stills in there?
I can, I wouldn't recommend it. You try to do interior as well.
Why don't we not? If I can get in one of them, they all look almost the same. I can get in one of them, probably.
Okay. I'd rather get a shot on the inside too, because at least one apartment. Let's schedule it soon.
Are we allowed to eat too?
Okay. Good.
Yeah, so let's do exterior, interior, and take the shots. All of the info.
The third property, is that a house?
Yes, it's an industrial.
Is that drone too? Drone on that one too?
Because I want
I'll do the 2 and 8. Each for 150. Cut them down a little bit. And then the one in Augusta, how many square feet is that house?
It's small, maybe about 3.
And then 150 if you want drone, that would do it. Does that work? 450.
I'll give you.
Yeah, let's schedule for a nice day. That's why I want a nice day. Can we get on the roofs of these things? Talking about a full takeoff shot. You would. I want to get on the roof of that one. That'd be a great shot. Just panning away from you and go to the bridge. It'll be fun.
But the fact that I'll email you what
Email me all 3 addresses. Email me all 3 addresses. Have you got your logo in yet, man?
Hey,
Okay.
it's better.
I'm not in a hurry.
No, I know. So we're supposed to have video conference last night.
Hey, I want to introduce these guys. They're here. They're gonna tell you a little bit about what they do. They're from Northwestern Mutual, and they bought us lunch today. So.
And we're supposed to meet this morning at 8:30. And we're supposed to meet at 3. Swear. They were gonna meet at 3. I don't know. It shouldn't take us 10 minutes. We've already got it.
We've already got it, but then he's got to go in there and get out of the way.
Put it together
Okay.
and give me put it in something I can use, put it in the format that I can.
This is, yeah. If you guys stand over here, because this is tape, and the people that aren't here can see it, and it's.
Well, I don't want to block that.
No, you can.
It's in my eyes. I'll let you get over there. Wow. Thanks, bud.
Thanks.
How's everybody doing today? Yeah. I'll start off by introducing myself. My name is JP Newsom with Northwestern Mutual. I'm a financial representative there. I'm originally from Pikeville, Kentucky. I went to Pikeville High School. Went to college in Charleston, South Carolina, at Charleston Southern on a golf scholarship. Moved back up to Lexington about 3 years ago. sold advertising before this, wasn't my passion, so then I decided to quit playing around and get into something that I enjoy. And this is Randy. Public speaking is his forte, so I'll let him take over.
Yeah, that's JP's favorite thing to do is to introduce me as an expert, which is basically just somebody from out of town. If they can't check on you, then you can say anything that you want and get away with it. And unfortunately, I came in here and somebody knew me, so I got to be real careful what I say. Tyler Back and his family I've known for quite a while, but what we're all about is partnering with people to help them get the same type of process that you use. You want to be a resource to someone, let them find a house they have, sell a house they don't want anymore, however that works. JP and I have a really good partnership, and I was interested to hear about the way Keller Williams lets people partner with inside the brokerage and market themselves in a unit. Because when we work with people, although we're in the financial services business, we don't create financial plans. In my 35 years, the only plans that I've ever seen that initiated and were completed were ones that people design themselves. Because if you don't own it, you won't finish it. Part of our human problem is we start and stop a lot of things. And I have learned over the years that if I can facilitate or help facilitate the organization of all of your financial resources, because they get stuck in silos. You have 401ks, and you have insurances, and you have cash and brokerage accounts, and they all have meaning to you. You create them, you own them, but how they come together are integrated in a plan that allows you to move from working to retirement planning is really a difficult transition. I'm 59 years old, and people in my age group have some anxiety about how do you move from something I understand extremely well, which is income, to something I don't understand, which is taking my assets and moving into a period which I'm not exactly sure of. The only way to get to a solution for that is actually to sit down and just develop what it means to you and try to come up with a strategy that is personalized. It has to be. It's not about money. It's about how you're going to live. And the reason JP and I work so well together is that I have a lot of institutional knowledge and no energy, and he's got no knowledge but a lot of energy. So, somebody told me years ago that if you have two partners to do the same thing in a partnership, one of them's not necessary. So it doesn't really behoove me to find someone like myself to build into the succession of my practice. I need someone who's got some juice left in him. And hopefully at the end, he can actually carry me along. That's my plan. I haven't told anybody, haven't told him that, but now I guess I'll cat's out the bag. I expect him to support me. We are officed in the Chamber of Commerce building. Northwestern Mutual has the top floor. We bought that condo, and the Chamber has the lower two buildings. It's corner of Rose and Main. I've been in this office, like I said, since 1982, and I grew up in this industry, which has changed and morphed quite a bit. I don't know about the real estate business. As an outsider looking in, it looks the same to me now as it would have 30 years ago. But there has to have been some internal shifts for you veterans who've been around a while. The same thing in our world, too. We try to address all the needs, from expense management to income planning to just the risk management, where what happens if somebody dies or becomes disabled. That's the traditional role of an insurance company. But how it all fits together is what we really are all about. We'd love to talk to anybody that's interested in knowing more about how we would do that. And it's timing. Everything is timing. Some people have an urgency to talk in the moment. Most people have their own day if they're trying to manage the pressures of that. We're very sensitive to that. So if someone ever wants to connect with us, our goal is to talk when you're ready to talk. That's what I've learned, is it doesn't matter what we know until you want to know it. It doesn't make a difference. So it's all on somebody else's time. But we appreciate the chance to come in here. I hope you enjoyed the sandwiches. I'm going to sneak one out in my pocket when I leave. That sounds funny. Sounds good to me. JP actually has, one last thing. One of the net results of what we do is we actually put together a personalized inventory for people. And it's a book. And here's what I've discovered. Is over the years, you may forget from time to time what's in this type of planning. But as long as you know where the book is on the shelf, that's why we hard bind it. Because people will put sheafs of paper and files and they get lost. But something about a hardbound book, you'll hold on to it. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had something happen in their life that's very dramatic, unexpected. And they said, you know, I couldn't remember what we talked about, but I remember where we put the book. And it pull it out and it has the simple instructions on, in emergencies, this is what we do. I know that sounds like it's talking at an elementary level, but when push comes to shove, you have to remember what you did and why you did it. And if it's too convoluted, you never act on it. So we have a tendency to push toward the simple to solve the complex. That's just it's a hard thing to do. It just takes a little bit of time, but it's worth the effort in the end. So we'd love to talk to anybody about it.
Yeah, I'll hand them out for you.
How's it going? Oh,
Thank you.
you like Eric? I work with.
Try not to step on anything, break anything. Go.
You don't care if I see you back.
This is,
You. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Thank you for your.
Hey, no problem. All right, thanks, guys.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
More than welcome.
Your videos are on the top.
Okay, I saw some guys. I was in the room. I didn't see it.
Thank you all for
Well, I
having
was
me.
Friday this morning.
You have a good day.
I'm trying to get these flyers ready, but anyway.
Your husband
Okay.
had an idea on Thursdays. Don't kill these deals.
So we're gonna do this. I think these panels that we've been doing have been pretty cool. I've seen some of the same people that have been coming. We're trying to like raise the level. Like there's some beginner classes, and we want this to be more of a advanced thing. You know, these masterminds that we've been doing, and then we make a couple breakout sessions over the next couple of weeks to go, you know, to get a little more in depth about the stuff we're going to talk about today. So today it's about social media, and we have a few different topics that we're going to talk about. The first one is like having a presence online. You know, what type of platforms that everybody's using. And we're going to talk about the successes, you know, the things that we've learned from each one of them. The next thing we're going to talk about is like how to create content for each of the platforms. And then the third thing is going to be followers, how to get followers on each one, and how to create engagement and how to sell real estate. So that being said, I've put together something that I use, like I haven't been in real estate very long. And one of the things that I set out to do when I first got started was to dominate social media. That's what I was going to do until I had real estate to sell, which I didn't for a while. I did a lot of research, and I learned that some of the most important things are, you know, creating a big presence and then getting reviews on each one. So that's something I've put a lot of attention into. So this is something that I give to new people that get on my team, and it's a good like starting point for each of you. You can use it, you know, to see where you are and, you know, what sites you've connected with. And and I say you don't have to be an expert on any of them. It's good to set them. They're all free. So it doesn't hurt to set something up, and then when you want to come back to it and add to it or get good at that platform, you've already got something started, and you can create followers. There's 2 pages. You can pass this around. So, Jason, what different platforms do you use as far as social media? What are your top ones?
I'd say Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay.
You know, my wife works at Yelp. I don't do anything with Yelp because it's obviously a conflict of interest for her, so I don't have to do anything on there. But I got,
Hold on a second. If you were to do something on Yelp, what would it be? I know you can't do it because your wife's on there, but what, if you could tell them, does anybody have a Yelp profile? Nobody has,
guys, I'm telling you, Yelp dominates reviews on every aspect because you can Google anything, what's the very first thing pops up, except in Yelp. Restaurant, doctors, you know, photographers, videographers, whatever. I mean, it's on Yelp.
Yeah, and speaking of the reviews on Yelp, I learned one thing really quick, is that if you ask somebody for a review, they're not gonna put it up there. Like if they're not on Yelp already, and they give you a review, it won't even show up. So it's gotta be people that are on Yelp.
Yeah, so that, I learned that the hard way. So before my wife started working at for Yelp, and so basically I had an email after closing I would send out, and it would say, review me on Trulia, Zillow, and Yelp. Copy and paste everything, don't try to go in there and change it up or whatever. But what I figured out is, so the algorithm of Yelp basically goes into place if you don't have already a presence on Yelp, a profile on Yelp, and have had at least 2 5-star reviews that you wrote, you're wasting your time because it will boot you. It will boot the reviews to the bottom of it. Even if it's a great review, bad review, whatever.
It won't even show up.
It just won't even show up at all. It will show up at the very bottom. If you scroll down, it'll say unpublished reviews or whatever, and you can see that. But it's just like they're robots or whatever they do. It's basically a software system. And
it was because they got caught with the fake reviews at one point, and then they like totally stepped up the security on it.
Yeah, so if you are not active on Yelp, I would not recommend even requesting a Yelp review. But if you are active on Yelp,
you mean the people that you're talking to are asking for the review?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I'm saying the people, not you yourself, but the people that's actually giving you the review, because it won't be worth anything. So you might as well go ahead and put it on Google or
So how do you make it, how do you make it work?
It's got to be someone that already uses Yelp. So if you have friends that are on Yelp and they've already, like you said, done 2 5-star reviews, then they're worth asking for a review from.
Okay, they can do your review.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing about Yelp is that in the search, like if you search for something, Yelp's always in the top. So if you are able to get some reviews on Yelp, it can be beneficial because if somebody searches for real estate in Lexington, Yelp's gonna, you can do all the SEO in the world and Yelp's still gonna jump higher than what you do. So.
Yeah, but I think that, you know, Facebook, I went to Michael Trihart class a couple months ago, and the private messaging guys, I mean, is really, really, it's awesome because you go out there and, you know, Jeannie sent me an email the other day, and I know I was BCC with everybody that was in there, but she's like, hey, I'm just checking on you, it looked great, I love hearing about you, blah, blah. She sent it to every agent, I'm sure, but, you know, it was a really kind of personal.
I thought it was to me.
But it seems like it's really personable, so that's what you got to do on private messaging, is basically just do it right there. It takes a little bit of time, but it's great. I mean, you get really great responses, reviews, everything.
What?
I didn't get that.
My brother's restaurant. That's why I got it.
So Dana, what's your top, what platform do you use the most and what do you
Definitely Facebook is my #1 and Instagram is my second. And then we're trying to create a presence on Zillow. But that's like one of my goals for this year is to kind of get more with like the reviews and stuff on Zillow. But no, we blow it up on Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook's mine for sure. You know, all of us up here, we have different, we all have different ways we do business. So for me, I just try to fit something that works for me. And so I kind of concentrate on a certain area of town, and I use my phone and my Facebook friends as my go-to list. And so my list is actually narrowed down to, you know, 100 to 150 people that continuously feed me. Not everybody's going to feel comfortable doing a video, you know, on Facebook and let everybody see it. I wasn't, you know, 3 years ago, I've been like, no. But I came to Keller. I got
like 6 months ago, you would have been like, no, really. If we're gonna be honest, 3 years is
But I'm going to tell you right now, the videos that I'm doing on Facebook and the pictures that I'm posting on Facebook have tremendously grown my business. I know there was, some people think that 80-20 rule. I do a lot of, I don't have a business page, which I probably should, but I really focus on my homepage, and I give a lot of good business stuff, and then I'll throw in a picture of my dog or my mom, or we'll have some type of nice little funny video, and then I come right back with some of my business stuff. But to me, Facebook has elevated my game tremendously. I don't think it's wrong.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. So I've started getting into Instagram, and I think that, I mean, but over the past 2 months, I've gotten 4,000 followers on Instagram, which I think is really cool. And
Can
they're
we
all,
take a time out? If you're
they're
not
all-
following the office Instagram page, can everyone go and do that right now? Because we've been working so hard on that. And it's been good. Don't you think
I'm
it's been
following.
good? Yeah. I know, I see you. I don't have to.
and Facebook, I do a lot of Facebook.
In 2014, 68% of my business came from Facebook. Because we
And
tracked it.
what Dana does is something different than I do. Dana will post something and then she waits for people to comment or like or whatever, right? And then you go after them that way, right?
Yeah.
Like when I post something, I always post a link to my website.
Yeah.
That my website's like the new websites that Keller Williams has are good because they're sticky. And part of the reason they got rid of the old one is because you couldn't generate leads from the old one. The new one, you can set it up where if they click on a picture or 2 pictures, then they have to put in their information. And a lot of people try to stay away from that. I think Scotty's like a type of person that would stay away from that because you're marketing more to a close area and you're not trying to get leads that people you don't know. I mean, you are, but you're not.
So for years, can I touch on that really fast?
Yeah.
So for years, I would always post like a new listing or, whatever it was. And then we would put the link to go back to our website. Well, I mean, we got nothing from that. So then I'm like, you have to tease these people. So then what we just started to do, and really this is what helped us a lot last year, is I kind of do the same thing every single time I say new listing alert with those 2 like, woo, surprise little emoji things or whatever they're called. We do it every single time. So that it's consistent. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
And so, and then I just say like one or 2 sentences about what it is, and then I post maybe 5 to 7 pictures, and that's it. Like not the price, not the address, nothing, no links. I don't do the links. I know that we do that different, but I don't do the links. And then people all they start to do is they'll comment and they just tag someone else's name.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it happens all the time. Well, like for months, people were doing that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, okay, that's cool. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Why are we not like private messaging all these people and saying,
Why are you tagging that?
why are you, hey, you were tagged in our post. Are you looking to buy a house in Hamburg, or are you looking to buy a house in Central Kentucky or whatever? And so now John goes and you private message, right? Every time, so we make him an admin. So every time someone comments someone's name, he goes and private messages them with the same spiel every single time. And
You make friends with them first, or you just private message them? Because a lot of times you private message them and you're not friends with them, it goes to that.
it goes to that weird one,
I'll
yeah.
write a message and don't get anything back. I ask for it.
And then we send it again. But I will never forget this, and I like to tell this because this just shows you that it's important. One night I was leaving here, you were in the small presentation room with somebody, and I was waving, and then you walked in there, then I popped in, and I'm like, hi, I'm Dana, nice to meet you. And he's like, this is so-and-so. And then I walk out, and I text him, and I'm like, was I supposed to know them? Like, I didn't know who they were. And he's like, no, those are people who I met, who we got from Facebook, who we messaged, and they came in and did a buyer consult, and then I think they bought a house.
Yeah, they messaged, I think, you guys talked to them, I think, last year or something. They said,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And then randomly just messaged on Facebook on their
Right.
Facebook page. Said, hey, we're in my house. I'm like, sweet, thank you.
So when people are commenting or tagging people's names, like don't be an idiot like me for 2 years and not even do anything with them. Like they're commenting them, they're tagging them for something. Either they're looking for something or they're thinking about it or whatever. And they do it all the time. And now they're doing it on Instagram too. So like our next thing is to start figuring out how to catch those people on Instagram because they're doing that all the time. They're commenting and they're just, at someone's name.
Mm-hmm. And that's so simple. And the other thing is so simple.
That's just a system. It's just creating a system to be able to touch those people to do it.
Since I do a lot in 40509, I do a lot of listings in 40509. I can actually send those to the 40509 on Facebook. I mean, it's as simple as starting with your own neighborhood. I mean, it's really that easy when you hear. I mean, Bob and Jason and Dana are a lot more technical, smarter than me. But it's like I keep it simple. Like I'm gonna start with my neighborhood. I'll blow it up. Next thing you know, it's just listing after listing after listing. And I just keep. I pound that neighborhood all the time.
Because he's targeting. the posts on Facebook to go to people who live in that neighborhood.
I think Jeremiah touched on this in class. He had YouTube hashtag and put the neighborhood.
At symbol in neighborhoods. If the neighborhood has an association, they usually have a Facebook page.
Or I have a Facebook page for the neighborhood.
Yeah, or you add one yourself. Because people will search that. Eventually you'll build a script base there and you can tag
Facebook pages.
Yeah, you put ad symbol, when you're putting on a description of something on Facebook, you put the ad symbol, you start typing in neighborhoods or Hamburg or something like that, names will pop up and there'll be clickable links.
Throwing those links in those are a big deal too, because then that, yeah.
For a billion users, wouldn't it?
Well, as far as leads, what do you get the same way you do the same thing?
Yeah, it's private messaging. And I get a lot of, basically, where I'm from Eastern Kentucky, I get a lot of people that's moved down here I haven't talked to in years. People I went to high school with, grade school with, you know, they've seen me on Facebook, follow me. I'll just post stuff and they'll probably message me. I mean, as far as that right there. But I think it's just being active on social media in general.
If they don't know you're a realtor,
Yeah, don't be a secret agent.
I think that like one of the big things about Facebook is that people don't want to like, it's like, if you want to engage with your friends, well, you can't just post all houses. I mean, somebody, Whitney touched about that the other day, but you have two different, you have a business page and you have your personal page, and it's like a mix between the two of them. Like I get phone calls all the time, like from friends back home, and they're like, oh, you're doing so great. And I'm like, this started before I was doing okay, or great. I guess I am doing great now. But it started way before I was. So what I realized from that is that you're in total control of your image and what people think about you, and it's all based on how you act and what you say. You got to think about it. I mean, if I had $1 for every time I've deleted something on Facebook that I've written or changed or I mean, deleted. I mean, I second guess a lot of the stuff I write, and I think that's
You have to.
it's changed my personality. Like, no one would ever guess that I'm at ABA, that my social governor is an 8. Like, that's not something that my family and friends would say about me. But I think that social media has really done that to me, and that's really a big advantage that I've gotten from posting stuff.
And I think too, on the opposite spectrum of that, like you have to be careful with what you say too. But also, I always tell, especially new agents, perception is reality.
Yeah.
And so people need to perceive that you are busy. Like successful people want to work with successful people. Busy people want to work with busy people. That's who people gravitate towards. And if they can perceive that you are busy and successful on social media, so not necessarily saying if you're a brand new agent, go out online and say you're someone that's yeah, not necessarily that, but it can be as much as I'm in a social media mastermind right now, learning how to kickstart my business or take my business to the next level with social media. Anything that you're doing, you need to
learning. Like if you're spending your time and you're focused on, like, I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, I think that's a great point. Is that I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. They're like, instead of like bragging, just show that you're putting the attention into being the best at what you do. If people see it, you don't need to be so.
If anyone in here does this, I apologize in advance. But when people put the sold and the exclamation points, to me, like that, I don't do that because, like, well, for one, what did you sell? And for if someone doesn't know you, like when somebody posts that as realtor, we know that. But just the sold, like, what did you sell? And like, okay, so you put sold for the 800 times.
That's how I feel about posting a house without a link that's sticky. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. If somebody sponsors a post, if it's a sponsored post.
No, I don't boost. You should still boost those though.
I don't boost anything that I'm not going to get leads from.
Yeah, but we get leads from ours, and I don't tag anything.
But you get them, like, I understand. This is a different opinion. It's a
Well, I think you're talking about relational and transactional.
But break down. all that juju sounds good, but like break it down for, I mean, I know what a lot of that means, but I don't.
Okay, so he's saying he would never post a new listing on Facebook.
And I don't post more than one picture. And what I've learned is that if the picture's too good, the leads suck. Like if you post a picture that's like just an amazing kitchen, well, people are going to click on it just because it's an amazing kitchen, not because they have any intention of buying it or can afford it.
Now, I disagree.
Maybe it works on
It's two
Instagram,
different-
but
it's
not
two
on
different-
Here's
Facebook.
why, but let me tell you
It's two
why.
different-
Because I want them all. I don't care if they want to buy the house with that kitchen or not. I want them to see my brand and to see my business and to see my logo so that anybody that they know that's thinking about buying or selling, because we know that in 2015, NAR said that someone has to see your brand 36 times before now that they even like, you're even whatever. So if they, whether they think the kitchen is beautiful and they just like the shiplap wall or whatever, I still want them to see the brand. And if they want to buy the beautiful kitchen, great.
But it's, see, it's good to see the two, like if you can show it up there.
Yeah,
What's
okay.
sticky, what's not sticky, and
So,
Show your
I
sticky.
mean, what's boosted and what's sponsored, like get into that.
so this is an example of something that I'm not giving out too much information, but I'm giving out enough to know that something's going on with it right here.
Arrow or exclamation mark.
Where?
The arrow by the price, like down.
So, okay.
And
so-
almost sometimes I'll make things so small that people have to click the picture to see what it says.
So if
Like, I'll do
someone
that on purpose
clicks, so
sometimes.
the whole purpose of this ad is for someone to click that.
Yeah.
And go to.
Now, when I,
Nice price.
Click it, and where does it go to?
I'll show you one second.
Okay.
This,
How do you, but how does the dumb person know just to click the picture?
That's what I was trying to get to.
It says details of the arrow.
that's another way they can click it. There's two different ways they can get to this. If I market this,
Can you show one that you've
when I
already
market,
listed?
when I market this guy, I just made this post this morning as an example.
She's asking you can either click on the hyperlink, which is the
Right
blue
here.
there, or the picture, which is just the website. When you right click and paste a hyperlink in a status bar, it usually posts the top picture on the website and the general information.
Right,
Populates
and
it
then I made a separate image and I changed it out for the one that normally comes up. That's something.
What did you use to put those logos on there?
Canva.
You're adding your own thumbnail.
So it said price reduction. It said it's in Scout County, and now it brought them to this website. Okay, so all the information's here. So a lot of people are like, I mean, you guys see 6,300 square feet for $475,000. That's an amazing price. Just if you guys are. I would literally that you put a calculator to figure out how much it is per square foot for a house like this. So anyway, and that's one of the things that people like. One of the reasons why people don't do sticky websites or ones that they have to sign up for is like, oh well, I don't want people to have to put their email in. Why don't you want them to do that? All the information's there. If they go to click on something.
Now they're gonna catch within. Okay, there we go.
Well,
He's capturing your.
And so the new KW website, Jason just told me.
the new ones do that.
They
The
do
last
that.
ones, that's why they got rid of them.
Right, because they didn't do that.
I love it.
Yeah.
You can set how aggressive you want it on there too, on the new website. So
Yeah.
basically you have options to say that, oh, everybody can do join or share at their leisure.
Hold on, Stuart's saying no.
The basic account, you only have the option of totally passive or totally aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm saying. You
then
can
what's the
do free
second
where you can basically do like every time somebody clicks on something.
They can't click on anything like that. Yeah.
They wouldn't even have seen that page
Yeah.
on the aggressive side of the new website, which is, I think that that's okay too. If you,
Okay.
if you're able to create something that makes them want to sign in.
You can see it, and when you click on it, you have to put your information in.
Okay, so then what's the option if you wanted them to be able to click 3 times and then sign up? Hey, how much is it? Do we know?
$5 a month or $5.50 a year.
Oh, okay. But there is an option to do it.
Yeah.
Because to me personally, when I go on a website and I get pissed and click that X and go somewhere else. But if I could click 3, if I could click 3 or 4 times and get a little interest and then it asks me for my email, then I might be like, okay, well.
But the difference is on that side, if you type in your email once, you don't have to do it every time. Every time you look at that same house on a different website,
Yeah.
Got it.
you don't have to do it anymore.
If someone doesn't want to buy a house, they're not going to sign in. But if they sign in,
They're gonna go look at my good picture.
Brett Johnson, Brett Johnson said when he went totally aggressive on the
Yes.
site, he got more.
He gets more leads.
He does get more.
Yes. and he
When
gets
they make them
totally
sign in after just one click.
No,
No, totally aggressive, no clicks.
Yeah.
You have to sign in and
Oh,
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
How many people?
They can go to L-Bar if they don't want to sign in.
Yeah,
They
that's
go
a
to
good point.
L-Bar.
Okay,
Put a post an L-Bar link and promote it.
Go to Zillow, there you go.
Okay, just so you guys know, like, I'm going to this, because the website that I have now is really pretty. You get all kinds of good
But it's
information,
not sticky.
and then I don't ever know who you are, or I have any information. So I am going towards the sticky one where you have to put your email in, so I can at least, I mean, if I'm gonna pay for something like this, I at least want it to capture something.
Yeah, you guys, these new websites are ridiculous. Like, they are so good, and we get them. Like, you already have them. They're amazing.
Going back to what you were saying earlier about lying about what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thanks. I'm glad that's what you.
No.
No, it's
Perception of
been
being-
that way forever.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat Hayden used to say, I mean, it goes back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Master.
it's the, I mean,
Say it.
perception is.
Question being bigger than you are and busier than you are.
Right,
Say I have 4 videos to shoot in one day, I'll take a picture of each house
right,
and I'll spread them out every day. So I'm not lying about it, I'm just lying about what time I did it.
right.
But posting every day, every single day. I post to Instagram and share it to Facebook. I only post once that day.
Posting from Instagram to Facebook, it gets huge traction. I mean, they're owned by the same company, and they, for some reason, if you put a picture on Instagram and you share it, you can attach it to your business page, so you can make that what it's linked
And
to.
remember now, you and I just figured out too, if you, because we
You
didn't
can
know
log
we could
into
do
more
this.
than one
Yeah,
account.
Instagram just changed where if you have a personal Instagram, you can toggle back and forth between a business. Like right now, I toggle back and forth between 4 Instagram accounts. So you can do.
You can post a minute-long video now too.
Right.
So
Can
like,
you post simultaneously to all 4?
Yeah, you click back and forth. So when you're,
I'll get with you.
yeah, when you're on there, like you just go to your main, you go to the top, and then you toggle back and forth. You click add new account under settings. Now I can show you. It takes 2 seconds.
that website that he just showed too on Instagram, you can post on top your top video. You can say link in the bio to this house. You show the first minute of a video or a picture, and in the description say, if you want to see the rest of this house, link to the bio. And that website can be what you just put up there, where they have to put their lead information in. One more way to get more lead generation.
Stickiness.
I don't know if any of you guys use Pinterest at all.
I do a
I
ton.
do.
Okay, I just ordered new business cards, and yesterday when I got on my Pinterest account, because we were putting it on my website, for whatever reason, their hookup is through, Vistaprint. The new business cards that I ordered come up on Pinterest, or it hit on my page.
Oh, that's cool.
You know what's really cool about Pinterest is that they are like it's just like Yelp. They like own the search engine.
Right.
Like they own it. So one of the things that just posting pictures, it's better, like you can post links on there, you can post videos on there. And then when somebody goes to Google that address, it's crazy because they'll be like above Zillow sometimes.
Yeah, Stuart had good information about Pinterest, about how we underutilize Pinterest. How many women did you say?
It's the 25 to 45-year-old.
Yeah.
women whose
Yeah.
The number
median
one.
household income is 200 plus.
But you know, somebody's creating all that content, and then what women do with Pinterest is they just share it around on each other's boards.
Yep.
But if you're the one creating the content, well, then you're in control of that link. Because most of the time, the people that are actually putting that information on Pinterest, it's linked to their website, and they're trying to sell something.
But Pinterest also, I think another thing to point out to create the busy when you're not busy or whatever, for the content, are we to that tab yet?
No, we're close.
Okay, should I wait?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so if you aren't showing a house or you don't have something, or whatever, I've used Pinterest to just get content to post and boost those, because that's another way to build your brand and for you to go on there and get something and then post it. You can get anything from Pinterest now, whether it's pretty kitchens or it's like the top 5 things to do to get your house ready to, I mean, all that crap is all over Pinterest.
That got a lot of hits on mine. I actually done, when it was springtime, is, what to do to spruce up the outside of your home, and it was painting the front door.
Where did it go?
I mean, the key word is brand.
Yeah.
Only thing I do on Facebook is I just continue over and over to brand my name, my face, my
Everyone that
little
was
cursive
watching
Scotty.
or
I mean, I want people, I just want it to be.
Scotty or floor over?
You know, I mean,
Or is it flow wrap?
I think
Or
that that's what you have to think about is, especially if you're a new agent, is figure out that way to brand yourself so everybody knows this is what I do, this is what I do, this is my name.
Create hashtags, guys.
Hashtags are it big time, and I think,
Create your own hashtags. Yeah. Make up some crap, but do them. Be religious about posting those hashtags every time.
And every time you post something, post a hashtag, you know, Team Priest, sold by Team Priest, you know, whatever. I got one for my wife, Hot Wifey. I mean, she's been, you're gonna see probably 1,000 pictures of her. I mean, it's cool. I mean, and what happens is when you click on the hashtag, it actually goes to every single post in Facebook or Instagram that has that hashtag in it. So, I mean, it's crazy.
That's my little piece of that I wanted to share with everybody today, is how I did the Instagram thing. Kind of like it has a lot to do with hashtags. I mean, it's all based on hashtags. I pulled this up.
And get creative with them too. Like I think some of the
I want to show you guys this
best
thing.
ones
This
are.
is pretty amazing because
This is pretty dangerous too.
it's. But
Hold on, please tell them what Instagram is.
Okay. First of all, with my Facebook page, if I'm not directly marketing, like who my target in my mind, my business plan is not just to consumers buying houses and selling houses. What has helped me out a lot with my business is getting referrals from other agents. So how I've been able to do that is to show that I dominate on social media. So I'm also thinking about them when I'm posting, and I've really been able to take that to the next level with Instagram. Instagram's tough because unless you're promoting something on Instagram, you can't put a link in. And like I said earlier, I don't like to post anything. Well, I mean, I do post stuff without links, but I don't like to. I mean, I see it as just filler. It's not like what my business survives on. You know, that's not how I get leads. I have to put stuff out there that people like too. But so this website is really cool. There's like it's an automation of Instagram, and really it's got me to think a lot more about hashtags and what I'm putting out there because I didn't realize so many people on Instagram used hashtags. And I'll tell you one you don't want to use is KW. Look it up and see what happens. It's Kuwait, okay? So I started getting all these like ISIS propaganda posts that I was tagged in. And I didn't know that KW, that's what it was like.
FBI is going to be.
I didn't know. Type out Keller Williams. Type out Keller Williams. Don't use KW. Just a little piece of advice.
Well, you can look up the hashtag too before you post, just to see what's posted.
And our official office is KW Greater Lakes, just FYI.
I use KWGO, but you
Yeah,
can
that's not official.
oh, okay.
KW Greater Lakes.
Oh, yeah. Since we're talking about content, that's another thing. Is that I don't know if you guys have been to Elmore classes where they talk about social media. Has anybody been?
I didn't even know they had any.
Well, it was a big thing.
Beneficial.
Well,
I went there.
Remember, we're being recorded.
not so much. That's okay. No. So they haven't updated the rules for social media to go along with social media. The rules have to do with print advertising.
Right.
And with print advertising, the way that they've been able to govern that and make sure that people aren't putting out advertisements that are misleading is that you have to put your broker's name on the broker name or the broker or the address and the name of the office on each advertisement. So it's been a big issue with the board. And one of the ways that I get around that is that whenever I put a picture of one of my houses, I try to have when the photographer goes, I have them take a picture with the sign in the front yard that gets the house with the sign. And I feel like that covers me. It's got Keller Williams Greater Lexington on it, and it's got, pardon?
Not allowed on Elbar with the sign.
Correct.
Right.
No, not on Elbar, but on social media.
On social media.
Just
On
their
social
rules
media,
for
the rules for social media,
Right.
because in their rules, they're still trying to go along with the print advertising. I think that there's been talk that they're going to make it so that it's one click away, but they haven't made that official yet. And that was always my argument. It's like, if you're putting it on Twitter, and I was to put in Keller Williams Greater Lexington, this listing provided by Keller Williams, well then all of a sudden I'm out of.
There's your 120 characters right there.
Right, I'm done. So that doesn't work. So they're working on that, but that's just a suggestion. If you just make sure that if you're posting something that has to do with real estate, that somehow you're putting in Keller Williams Greater Lexington to avoid getting into trouble. And I've never gotten one.
What
I've done all kinds of stuff on social media.
Somebody actually called me the other day and said, you've got a post on here, and it's got your sign in the yard, you need to take that off.
Who said that?
Of all people, it's also Charles Tackett.
For what? You had it on Elbar.
No, it was on Facebook, but he thought it was on Elbar, but it was just on Facebook, not
Yeah.
Elbar, because I called Elbar and she didn't look, she said, no, he's mistaken, it's just on your Facebook, she said, you're good on Facebook.
Okay, you could do that. You
Yeah,
can
she
cut
said
that
that
stuff
way
on Elbar.
you're in compliance, you're covering yourself.
One thing that I've always taught in our other social media classes are just download the app iWatermark and put the Keller Williams Greater logo, Lexington logo on there, and then just slap that on your stuff, and then you've got your logo on there. It's so easy. It's an app. I think it might be 99 cents, or you might be able to get it
Or
free.
Canva.
You can do it on Canva, but from your phone really quickly. I mean, literally, you click on iWatermark, put the picture on there, put the watermark on there, and you're done.
Superimpose is free.
So just keep that in mind when you're doing that.
Okay.
So Instagram, this website, Instagrass, is you can try it free for 3 days. And I think it's the coolest thing in the world because it's not just automated. Like I have it automated directed towards certain hashtags. So like the settings that I have in here, and it costs like $80 for the whole year. And you can see this cycle right here, I've liked 57,290 pictures. And this is maybe like the last time I changed things was maybe like a month ago.
If you really want to hit it with Instagram, you have to use this app now.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, and
So it's just,
I mean, it's a website.
going in.
Yeah,
It's
you pay for
doing it all. It's doing it all day. $80 for the whole year. You can get the first 3 days for free, and you'll
It's
see how
super
cool it is.
We tried this on the when I started our office Instagram. I did the free one for the first 3 days, and it was super cool. Like we got a ton of followers, and they were commenting.
So I've created some comments that are positive and that could go along with anything.
I've gotten a few of them like, what the heck
Me
am I
too.
talking about?
My favorite one is love your
Why is there a
profile,
star
keep being
emoji on
awesome.
there?
And people just love that. I mean, they think that's really cool. I mean, it doesn't matter what the profile is. They might have one picture on their whole profile, and they get that comment on one of their photos, and they're like, "Oh, thanks, that's awesome."
I like the whole.
Yeah, yeah. So I try to make them so that they would apply to anything that anybody posts.
But you go in here and you pick these, and you choose what you make them up, whatever ones you want them to say.
I've had one that has come back bad. There was an anti-hunting picture, and it
Like
said.
ISIS.
It said like pretty sweet, like it was under the hashtag hunting, and I have that in there just because I think hunting's cool. But
I was just wondering why a grown man was doing emojis, but that was just me.
I like the frog one.
Yeah, the problem is when I think, yeah.
So now where do these go? They're going to these hashtags right here, and I've been able to. And this is the thing that I changed the most, or I had to, because I'll get another idea. I'll be like, oh well, I'm going to put in the other real estate companies. I'm going to put in, and when you start typing in one of these, it'll give you a bunch of suggestions. So really all of the likes have been on real estate agents' photos, and all of the comments have been on their photos all over the world. So that's who's following me back. You go and like somebody's photo and say, your profile's awesome. Well, what do? They follow you. And then it also goes through a follow and an unfollow cycle. So it'll follow 1,000, it'll follow 500 people, and then it'll unfollow 1,000 people that aren't following. So
Can I say something?
yeah.
So one thing, I took a big social media class, I can't remember where it was, but one thing that they talked about, and Bob and I have talked about this a lot, is people who are really good at this stuff celebrate other people's successes. And so they use the example of Taylor Swift, and I can't remember, I'm going to just totally make these numbers up, but she had like 4 million followers, and then she started celebrating everyone else's successes. So like when people were winning awards, or when people were releasing new albums, or whatever, like other people in her same field, she was celebrating their successes, and she went from like whatever this number of followers was to like 50 times that number of followers, because she was celebrating other people's successes. So some people might look at that and be like, oh, why are you tagging the Remax and the Weichert and the whoever and the whoever? Well, you want them to follow you back, and it's just a way to interact. But I just think the more that we celebrate everyone's successes, the more, because not a lot of people are out there doing that. And we're getting ready to do that as an office. You'll start to notice that. So don't think that that's like a competition thing. That's like you're celebrating other people's successes, and you're coming from contribution, and you're happy for them. And it just creates more.
I can tell you that works. I share other local videographers, posting videos that I like, And they share my stuff now.
And what a better
So
way-
many more views.
Yeah, and what a better way to just be, have good morale with everybody else. Yeah, and other agents want to do deals with you, and they like to work with Scotty Flo because he's good to work with and he celebrates their success or whatever. I mean, I just think that we need to always keep that in the back of our mind.
It's a good place to come from.
It's a really good place to come from. Yeah.
So
As
how
opposed
long
to
have you
hating.
been doing Instagram?
Pardon?
How long have you been doing Instagram?
Maybe 3 months. Maybe 3 months, and on my, let's see if it'll show my pages. I think I'm up to 4,000. I'm over 4,000 followers now. I started with 500. Pardon me? The what?
Buy time packages.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to buy it starts you off with 3 days for free. But if you want to buy 3 more days, it's $2. It was $80 for the whole
We did
year.
like a whole year for $80 or something, and then it just continuously cycles them in and out. And so if it goes and likes other people, and within a certain number of days, they don't like you back, it goes and unfollow, or follows, it goes and unfollows them. And then it follows new people.
when they think
But
about
it follows
Lexington and
people
Asian
based on those hashtags that you put in the bottom. So like our office page, we've gone and followed like a bunch of Remax agents and Sotheby's agents from like all across the world, but then they've come back and followed us. But if they wouldn't have, then Instagram would have gone in and unfollowed them and re-gone and followed more people. Like it basically just does it all for you.
So you choose how many unfollows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I don't want to be following anybody, just have people following me, it'll make that happen.
No,
It makes you follow people.
I think you can do that.
I don't think so. I thought you had to do both.
No, I think see,
That's harder to manage local media. Like if you're trying to see what else is doing, if you have 1 million people you're following, it's so saturated inside the feed.
See, look,
how am I supposed to see what everybody else is doing?
You can do min and max.
That's true. too.
Follow.
I want to be able to see what everybody else is doing. If there's 1 million posts a day, I don't want to.
Here it is, right here. Unfollow sources. You can change.
You can do like that's where it is. Yeah.
You can just change it. You can unclick that. I have to click the people that
Right.
follow me.
Okay.
You can click it and unfollow 1,000 people.
That's not following you.
That's not. No. If you unclick that, it'll just unfollow 1,000 people. Like, see, my follow cycle is I follow 500, and then I don't follow the same people, but then I unfollow. But you can unclick the unfollow thing, and it'll just unfollow 1,000 people.
So right now it's only unfollowing people who don't follow you back because I think that's what I have mine on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What else?
I think one thing that's important to talk about is just the value side of things. As consumers, everybody just wants something, like that you have to be pushing out things that are valuable to them.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of the stuff you can get from Pinterest, but also just who just posted something? It was so good. The things that are coming up. Who just did that? You.
I posted.
Yeah, it was Mark. Yeah, I thought it was the coolest post ever. What was it? I can't remember, but I remember I liked it.
I posted for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then I posted for Lexington and Richmond.
Upcoming events, right?
Yeah.
And it was like simple and easy to read, and it was like what's going on in Lexington Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and
No one does it on Canva. She's the one does it. So.
it was so cool and it was so easy.
We've been doing
It takes 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's like a value piece. Like that's cool for people. Like I got on there and was like, what's on Saturday? And like,
And one suggestion, I don't know why this isn't showing up. What we've been trying to do lately too. I mean, we've been getting a lot of traction from doing that. Like, Debbie's daughter's been writing articles for us in like organic traffic, like this. If you write now on that website, you can make a blog post on there.
Yeah.
So if you do that, if you make that image, you can just leave it on Facebook and let it go. Or you can put the blog post on your blog and then have people click through to that to read the information. Give them a little teaser. Hey, you want to know about what's going on this weekend in Richmond? Then you get them to your website. They might not buy a house because they looked at your website, but you're adding that brand awareness and you're showing that you're the person that created that content. So.
are you getting ready to leave? Okay, before you leave, I want to say one thing before you talk about the blog thing. The video stuff that Jeremiah is doing.
Oh, I wanted to show an example of like what.
I cannot even we could do like a 3-hour class on it. I don't know now, John, do you know how many listings we've sold before we even put them on Elbar? Because we've been having the videos done and then we're blasting the videos on Facebook.
The videos.
At least 3 or 4.
Yeah, so it's.
Like at minimum.
Yeah.
before we've even listed them on Elbar. Like we've listed them and an agent has like shown it that second because they've already seen the video and they've already contacted us and they've already wanted to see it. And then it's sold. And like we never even really, like people didn't even get to schedule showings on Elbar. Because you can do that within a certain number of hours. And anyway, now I think it's like if you're gonna list it within 48 hours and you already have your listing paperwork signed. So we're getting super purposeful about when he does the videos and when our listing paperwork is signed, and then when we're putting it on Facebook, and then when we're listing it on the MLS. And like we sell them before they even get on the MLS because of the videos.
I have people that actually ask me, are you gonna do a video of my home too?
Well, we just have to do it for it. We do it for it.
Oh, I
We
do
do it whether
for
it's a
everybody,
$100,000
but
house or $1 million
that's
house.
what they ask.
We get a video, yeah.
This video right here, I ran for like $100. I think I spent $100 on it. It was shared 100.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
$100.
And the thing is that what Facebook does with advertising, how you pay the least amount is you become more focused with it. Like the more relevant it is to the people that are seeing it, the less you're going to pay. So,
And it doesn't matter how many followers you have.
it doesn't matter how many followers. Like followers don't mean anything
followers.
anymore.
Yeah, I have 1,000 followers. And that stupid drone video from the beach that I posted,
Right.
I boosted for $5, I think $5 or $6.
That thing went crazy.
And it did 200,000 views and reached over 500,000 people. And I
Yeah,
have,
no wonder.
well, it was $5. But if I
Well,
just,
we boosted Hickman Creek for $10 and it had, I don't even know that creek video.
Like 3 days.
In 3 days, it was crazy. Yeah, I know. I don't think we did it for $10.
This one ended up costing me 0.003 cents per view.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 0.003 cents
So
per
did
view.
you target this one to a?
So people that like log homes
Yeah.
that were in, I think 100 miles of
Toyota.
Yeah, oh, I did Georgetown, Toyota. I did
So
Toyota.
look at that. Totally, it had 89,000 views.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a lot.
yeah.
That's cool.
I know how you target areas. but how do you
Right,
target
right.
You have to use the ad manager.
I never.
You can't just boost the post.
They all have.
Would it be helpful for you guys for us to do like another Facebook?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, on the advertising.
Okay, we can do that.
Someone mentioned the other day, it was in the panel over at the meeting, about whatever the Facebook post was, that they used a certain thing on there and just marketed that neighborhood.
It's the targeted
Yeah, targeted
ad
neighborhood
manager. It's the ad manager.
Yeah, it's amazing how detailed you
I
can
mean,
get
if you
with
have a
it.
first time home buyer house, you can make only people between the age of 18 and 22 see that house.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Or if you got a house that's 500,000, then you do people that make over
Over
150.
200 or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
You can do income, you can do all of that stuff in there.
There's two different ways to do it. You can either post a video and then boost it, or make it as an ad.
This was an ad. But I like to do it
You
as
can
a post first because then you get to, then people,
When you
then people
post it, you
see
see
on your
organic
page.
first, and
This
then you
one
can
I
go
have
back
to
and
pull
keep adding up to it and adding and adding.
Yeah, I don't ever do it as creating an ad. I always do it as the post first because then, like you said, if you boost it for $10 and it's getting a lot, you can go back and add 8 more, or then you can go back and add $12.
But once you boost it, you can't edit it.
Right.
And I've run
That's
problems
me
there.
It's somebody else's
We need
bill.
to make sure
You can't change the price or.
You can't change.
I don't put the price on any of them.
No, you won't put the price on there anyway because you want people to either
Okay.
click or
You put-
comment to
Or
get the price.
put the link to the website, and then when you change it on the website, it's always gonna be the right price.
Okay.
So that's normally what I do. I would put, normally, like, this is one that I made a mistake on, and it started getting so much traction, you don't want to stop that. Like, it was getting so much organic traffic that I didn't want to stop it, but normally I would put details with the little arrow and click here, you
Did
know?
it sell already? Okay, well, I'm looking at the date, it says April 17th. I just
No.
wondered.
It's a unique one though.
It's very
Well,
unique.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been a
It's
You
okay.
all done the booster page like around local?
Mhm.
You know how you like, you can boost your page? Like I've tried that, I haven't gotten much, I don't think it's really done a lot. Like what do you think you've done that has like got you the most likes on the page?
Just
The
everybody-
best thing I've ever done on Facebook, and this is something for people that don't have anything, you know, like need, not anything, but people that want more business, is everybody's looking for a deal. So everybody's looking for a deal, and the very first thing I did when I got into real estate is I made an ad on Facebook, and it was a picture of a house, and it said foreclosure on it, and it said, if you're interested in an updated list of Central Kentucky foreclosures, click here.
Wow.
And then I took that link and made like a contact form, which you can do on the new website now, right? You can make a contact form. Well, you don't have to make a contact form. You can make a search that's short sales and foreclosures for Central Kentucky.
Put
Okay.
them up on an auto process.
Usually you made a contact form.
Okay, so that's what, yeah, okay, so that's what I did, is I just made a contact form, and then I made the questions. I got better with the questions as I went, but for $5 or $10 a day, I would get 30 or 40 leads. And the leads, it started off and I was just not asking enough questions. It would be like name, phone number, email address. But then I started asking, are you an investor or is this gonna be your primary residence? Are you a first-time home buyer? If you're an investor, are you gonna flip or are you gonna hold? Are you gonna be paying cash? Are you gonna get in financing? And I'd say 85% of them said, first-time home buyer, they're gonna be getting financing. That is awesome that you're not looking for a stainless steel refrigerator, because that's what most first-time home buyers are looking for. The fact that you wanna buy something and you want some equity in it, that means we're gonna get along. You know, I mean, we can find you a deal. I don't wanna put up a roadblock, but it's really hard to buy a foreclosure with a loan. You know, sometimes the water's not on, sometimes the house isn't in condition that the appraiser will even appraise it. So, but there's estate sales, there's all kinds of different ways that we can find it. Tell me, then I just go right into it. And that was the reason I left Remax, really.
That was so good.
That was the reason I left. Well, I got to the point where I couldn't call all the phone numbers. Like, and these phone numbers would start sitting there. I got a backlog of people that I needed to call. I had so many leads that were like coming out of the woodwork. But that was the best thing I ever did on Facebook.
And what happened with Remax? What'd you say?
Well, I got to the point where I couldn't call the numbers, and then I said, what should I do? And the advice was, refer them out.
That was my advice.
There was an echo in the room.
We need like a signal for like You talk about the blog.
So blog, I blogged. I started blogging years ago. I haven't blogged lately very much.
But when you were doing it a lot, you were rolling with it.
But organic traffic, guys, is cheap, but it's your time. But the new website does have its own blog post on there. You can basically take your website and create a blog post. And so I think what Bob was talking about earlier about posting whatever, you can, so whenever, like a listing, you click on a listing, for example, go to your website, Bob.
Well, I want to show you something real quick with the blog. I think this is what you're talking about, because no matter what you put on Facebook, if you have a link, it doesn't necessarily have to go to a listing. But that's the point with your website, is to have as many links going back and forth. It shows that you know what you're talking about, because you're linking other people in. You're taking their credibility for what you're doing. So, and I don't know, maybe this isn't what you're
Don
talking about.
White's office, for example. I used Don White when I was 2008 to 2012. I rock and roll with short sales all day long. So I was basically linked. I had Don White actually pay me $500 to put him on my website and make some content of it. I still get calls today saying, "Is this Don White's office?" And it's mine, but it was on my blog, so they think it's my number. So it's just,
that's what picked up in Google.
exactly. So I think it's not a immediate gratification. It's long term, but organic traffic is cheap and it's just your time. So when you're home chilling, not on Facebook, whatever, like with you, the links and stuff that you're talking about, the whatever that these events are going to be right here. Put it on your website.
Rewrite what somebody else already wrote.
Yeah.
And then link to your website from social media, and then you're going to drive traffic to your website, and then they're going to look at you as the professional. And that's like coming up with content. That's the other thing. Like we were talking about content, and I guess that was the last thing on our list, but there's content all around. A picture of these guys up here is content. Like this room, the houses that you see, you don't want to take pictures of the houses where people would recognize that that's the house. It's not your listing. If it's my listing, you can take as many pictures as you want. And you can put the address on there. You can do whatever you want to do with it. But some agents, they don't want you, unless you get permission, you're not supposed to post their stuff. But you see stuff all the time that you can put out there that's going to show that you're out there working, So, and even if you're not working, you don't have anyone to show. That's part of that new, that's part of the Ignite thing, right? That you're supposed to, if you don't have houses to show to people,
right,
well, then you need to go out and preview houses.
right.
You need to go out
Or
and schedule.
promote someone else's listing. There were several people when they were brand new agents who promoted other people's listings in the office.
Mhm.
Anybody would love to have their listing promoted that
You
they
can
have.
post my listings anytime you want.
Ditto. Yeah, I mean, all of I think that's a great way. Just go and post someone else's listing that's in the office and say, are you looking to, buy whatever. or
I
whatever.
generally, if I get a listing in a neighborhood, I like to see a couple of houses in the neighborhood, my competition. I can physically walk through them and see them. Pictures are one thing, because we can, these guys can make pictures look really good. But when you walk in there and it's a different feel to it. So if there's a listing that pops up down the street from me, I always try to make an appointment to go in and see what it looks like. So viewing those listings is, I think, a good thing.
I was trying to look on my page for content.
And we have a few minutes for questions. We have a few minutes for questions because it's 12:15 is the.
That happened with one of my listings. This little $60,000 listing I have on Bennett, Tiffany Jarvis showed it, and she took a picture of the front, and she was like, just fell in love with the house. And that was a picture of the front of my listing. I didn't even know she did it, and I was just looking through my Facebook page, and I was like, that's the listing. And then she had like 10 comments, like, where's that house? Where's that house?
Oh, that's cool.
So,
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I think it's like old school thought that not to post my stuff because that was back when agents controlled their listings.
Yeah, if that's your
You know,
mindset,
like, that's the
you have
mindset.
the wrong mindset.
Right,
Like,
right.
You don't know Zillow's out there.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, everybody,
Right.
that's just like
Right.
celebrating other people's successes and
Right.
stuff.
I mean, that's exactly how Zillow makes all the money, is promoting other people's listings. So, I mean,
Get with it.
if they can do it, you can do it too.
Where's somewhere else you post your videos other than Facebook and MLS?
YouTube. If not, you need to definitely create a YouTube channel first and foremost.
Yeah, but you can do the same thing with your blog. You know, embedding a video from Facebook doesn't work as well as embedding a video from YouTube, except that YouTube is more like, you're not going to get that traffic that you are through Facebook. So, like, I post to Facebook and to YouTube.
You don't wanna post it
YouTube
on-
gets search traffic. Like, if you search an address, it'll come up.
In YouTube, yeah, you should have, we put them on both, like, no matter what, we always put the video on Facebook, we always put it on YouTube, and we always put it on Elbar, so 3 things, remember. So like, that's the great thing about Jeremiah, he sends you 2 videos, one is branded and one is unbranded.
I don't even do an unbranded one anymore.
Well, they should be on the Elbar.
Elbar.
Well, we put
Why?
ours on Elbar, I don't know, but I think why? Because if people are searching on there,
I put the branded one on Zillow, Trulia. I take
yeah, put it everywhere, but he gives it to you, it's free, you might as well just upload it on Elbar because you have it.
A lot of people miss that one.
They don't even know it's there.
It needs to be more
It doesn't
visible.
show
That needs to be more visible, I agree with that. Well,
Trulia-
each their own,
And
we
the-
put ours on Elbar too.
And the thing is that with YouTube, Zillow doesn't, no, you can put your video, you can do anything you want to your listings. In fact, there's agents in other states that I found this template one time where they're putting a template on their main photo that has their phone number on it. I mean, you can get away with it for a while. I mean, they'll catch you sooner or later.
So
But
Zillow
if you-
and Realtor.com will let you post your unbranded video, or could it be branded?
You can put a branded video on
You
there.
put branded everywhere but Elbar.
Okay.
Elbar's the only
And
place
it's silly
you can put
because
branded.
you're sending them back to your YouTube page that's branded. They're going to the YouTube page that's branded already. You don't have an unbranded YouTube page.
Right, but I was gonna say before we forget, because remember, I just did this the other day on accident. Don't go to YouTube and post your video and then share that link on Facebook,
No.
or it doesn't roll up. And I forgot that when I was on vacation, remember?
And YouTube's good. YouTube's good for people that call you and say, they ask about the property. It's a better link to share
Right.
than the one you can't really share it from Facebook. Or
But when you post your video on Facebook, you have to upload the video to Facebook. So don't go to YouTube and upload it and then copy that link and put the link, or it doesn't rotate. Like you want it to be when you're scrolling through your newsfeed, the video's already rolling. You know what I mean? And the only way to do that is to upload the video directly onto YouTube.
And also has more
Yeah.
control.
Otherwise, it just posts the link from YouTube, and they don't. That's how, like, when you scroll, like last night I was scrolling and I saw Todd. He was like in black and white, like because he uploaded it that way.
videos are so cool.
They're amazing. Like I can't even. We should have had like a whole hour class on this. But I'll yes, and I'm gonna
So I
share.
think I posted from my YouTube to Facebook.
Yeah, but that
So the
doesn't.
video won't roll.
Well, it doesn't roll. It just shows the link.
You add it the same way you added it to YouTube. You just click on where it says add a photo. Just
Upload
add
the
the
video.
video.
It takes a minute. Mine takes like 15
it's the same
minutes,
place.
but- Is yours?
They take a while.
They take a while.
They do.
But it's because they're high res. Yeah. Yeah. And I think too,
It's
like
worth it.
mine goes faster when I do it at home than when I do it here, because if we're all on the internet
Yeah.
trying to get on there, it's,
Jason, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah,
Any other
so
questions?
Upload it.
We're going to carry this on to the next session.
What do we do with this? Hand
Take it home.
I mean,
Well, what I do, that's just an outline for what you should do with those are where you should have presence on.
Okay, got it.
Those are all free sites that you can put up a profile, add your picture, add your bio. And what I would do is I would go back through, maybe set something on your calendar to go back through there every month and update it. Go back through, change your picture, go back through, change your bio.
So this column is just for notes that you.
That's for your bio. Yeah, well, I mean, I do that for the agents that come on my team so that I have it so that the admins can help them with it.
Okay,
But it's a good timeline for yourself just to know that those are all free sites that you can put a profile on.
Do you have another one of those?
Yeah.
You're about.
Yeah, I'll print it out, I'll go next door.
Sophia to me. I'm telling
Great
you, the
job,
number of people that are getting robocalled.
Yeah.
I think fans are gonna show
It's
up
not
here.
robo. It's not
No,
robo.
it's a real person, no, because they gave me the number and I called them.